You know, there are a couple of people in the Broadway show theater that really are Broadway. Carol Channing is most definitely one. Talk about lighting up the stage. That's Carol Channing. And the durability, you know, this woman went through 1,200, 1,300 shows consecutively. An unbelievable durability. We had a chance to talk with Carol Channing just moments, actually, before she went on the stage in Jerry's Girls. So here is the one and only Carol Channing.
Obviously, Jerry's Girls rests not only on your incredible talents and the talents of your co-stars, it also rests on a certain talent that a man named Jerry Herman possesses. What are the qualities in your mind that makes Jerry Herman so American musical marvelous?
Oh, his optimism. He never says there are no vicissitudes in life, there's nothing to overcome, but he's, before the parade passes by, it's always, no matter what's the problem, I'm going to shoot for the pot at the end of the rainbow and I'm going to make it. And he does it every time. Every song is a Valkyrie. It's a, not every song, but I mean, some of them are lovely, like Song on the Sand that Andrea McCardle sings.
Only takes a moment.
Yes, but I Am What I Am is a song of victory. And so as Parade passes by, he's always happy. He never dies on a sad note. That is not Jerry Herman.
Where do you begin in musical comedy?
This theater, this Colonial Theater, of course.
Here in Boston.
Here in Boston is the first theater that was built in Boston, and thank goodness Boston has made it a museum piece. They've kept it, isn't it gorgeous? And I remember coming here when I was in Bennington College in the year 1941, and Bennington had a policy that every winter you should get a job for 2 months at whatever it was you were majoring in.
And you were in drama?
Yeah, drama dance, hyphenated. It would have been drama dance, but the drama teacher came from New England and the dance teacher came from the Middle West. So since I was a drama dance major, Tom,
yes.
Carol, yeah, I went down to the Colonial Theater because I heard Danny Kaye was going to do his first musical, Let's Face It, and his co-star was Eve Arden, and I sat right there, only a few feet from us right now. I went to this room first, took off my hat and coat, talked to Vinton Friedley, went up on the stage, and I asked Vinton Friedley, could I understudy Eve Arden? And I went through
You just went cold and said, I want to do it?
Yeah. I walked in and stood up on the, and they threw me in the middle of the stage, and they were already getting ready to open. They were in a, and Danny Kaye was sitting in the audience. They were about in the 10th row, Vinton Friedley, next to Vinton Friedley, and he said, you know what? She'd fit in Eve Arden's costumes exactly. See, Eve is tall like I am. She's 6 feet tall, and heels are over. And we had the same build. And he said, she'll fit in Eve's costumes. You'll save all that money. Go ahead. Why don't you hire her? So Vinton said, Danny wants you. I got the job. And do you know that years later, after I did Hello, Dolly, and we were touring... I didn't know
you did Hello, Dolly.
You didn't?
No.
We were in Chicago, and Eve Arden, I had to go, and I was given 3 months off to make the movie Thoroughly Modern Millie, so they got Eve Arden to take my place, and Eve stood up and said, I want you to know that the reason I have this part is because I fit into Carol Channing's clothes. Oh. Wasn't she darling?
You are a very gutsy woman. Is there anything in the world that you're afraid of? Anything that you're afraid to do? Is fear even part of your vocabulary, Carol?
Does it seem that way?
It seems that you, to stand up and say, I would like to understudy, there are people that would, oh, I wish I could do that, I wish I could do it. Are you a fearless or a fearful person?
Talent is always coupled with ambition. That's an old one.
Yeah.
It's way beyond your own understanding. It's beyond all human reasoning or horse sense. No, if I were to try to get a job in any other field, I couldn't.
This is what you're destined to be and do. No, because you just, you have this thing that you want to say, and if you can't say it, if you have no platform, then I found other ways. I get a canvas and paint. What is it you want to say on the stage? What is it you want?
You saw the show.
I have seen the show.
That's it.
So people have to see the show in order to see what Carol Channing has to say.
Well, how can you say what you want to say?
You just got to say it.
No, that's it. You can either put it in words or else you can do it.
Can you be as happy off the stage as you seem to be on the stage? Can you find an equivalent gratification off the stage, Carol?
No, never. Oh, never. Nobody has an equivalent gratification. No, I know a man that makes Celotex, Bror Dahlberg, and there is nothing, the whole world is made of Celotex. And I realize, Bror, you're one of us. I love you. He's a happy man. He kept saying, stop the car. See that roof? It's made of Celotex. And I thought, oh, I love you. I mean, I understood him.
But not mothering, wifing, friendly.
Oh, yes.
Those are gratifying, but are they as gratifying as being on that stage singing Put It Back On?
You don't understand.
Okay.
My husband and my son love me because I'm a gratified person.
Ah.
And I love them because they see to it I can be gratified. Oh no, the whole thing dovetails. I mean, some poor women, they feel guilty because they are so thrilled with their work. They love it. They're dedicated to it and they feel guilty about it. I don't have to. If I make my family late for the movies and they're mad at me, the way back with them is not to bake a chocolate cake, not to darn their socks. It's do the best show I can possibly do. And very often then they look at it and they look at one another and they say, oh, she's not so bad. I guess we love her.
How is Carol Channing between shows, before the next property, before the next parade comes? Do you get edgy? Do you get anxious, waiting for that next good part?
Oh, you mean do I like not working? No, I like working. I don't like time between shows, so I don't have any.
You're fortunate.
Isn't that fortunate? Yes. But you see, that's what's important. You mustn't, George Burns has often told me, don't put your sights on one branch of the entertainment medium. You've got to embrace all of them. Otherwise, how often do you have a Jerry's Girls?
Do you ever have a decision, did you ever make a decision, Carol, where you say, I wish I could have that one back. That one I chose wrong.
Oh, everybody has those.
Do you have one that you would share, some decision that you made that I should have gone down that path instead of that one?
Oh, I had the most terrible colossal flop, The Vamp it was called. And I learned, they say you learn more from your flops than your hits, and indeed you do. I learned and learned. I learned that a show, a musical show, any show, you've got to get behind one man's eyeballs and look through those. The entire company does. The director does. It's either the director or say it's Thornton Wilder who first wrote The Matchmaker that Hello Dolly was adapted from. But everybody's got to look at the world through that one man's viewpoint. Otherwise the choreographer thinks it's about this, the lighting man thinks it's about that, and the director thinks and the dialogue thinks it's about that, and you have a flop.
And you've had that.
Oh, yes.
Does it get to you?
Oh, everybody goes down for 9 counts, and we all come up on the 10th. We all do.
It's hard to believe sometimes that even a Carol Channing has those moments.
Oh, my heavens, I have lots of them. All of us do. Everybody does. Thank goodness, when you have a flop show or a flop record, people don't hear about it. They don't know anything about it. George told me that too. Aren't I fortunate to have a friend like George Burns over a lifetime? He says, but Carol, nobody remembers your flops. Isn't it great? He says he has had many more flops than hits.
Very briefly, Carol, before we stop, what one role is out there that you'd love to play?
Oh, the one in the show, the one in the Long Johns. Oh, I
People have to see that. Put it back.
Did you like that?
I love you. How can you not like
It's
that?
the old vaudevillian in Long. It reminds me of the old Howard here in Boston, doesn't it?
I don't. Yes, it does. I know about the old Howard in Scully
You do.
Square. Yes.
Well, the accent is Galician Yiddish, and it's so beautiful. It's such a deep part of our American musical comedy that we now call Broadway. Anyway, that's the roots of musical comedy. And this wonderful old vaudevillian is in these Long Johns. That's what I get to play. Jerry Herman, when he's funny, that's his funniest. The greatest compliment I had was Jerry said, Carol, my grandfather would be proud of you.
So would mine. Carol Channing, thanks so much for talking with us.
Oh, thank you, Tom.
And we love you.
Oh, boy.